This podcast is sponsored by Pogo, Property Operations on the Go. Facility managers know how challenging it can be to keep everything running smoothly. That's why Pogo was created, a white-labeled software solution designed by property managers for property managers. Pogo is your ultimate all-in-one platform for managing multiple assets. With Pogo, you communicate with your tenants, manage maintenance requests, control property access, manage bookable spaces, and much more. Plus, with advanced analytics, Pogo empowers you to optimize your operations anytime, anywhere. The best part? Pogo is completely customizable to fit your brand and business. Simplify your operations, enhance tenant satisfaction, and save money with Pogo. Ready to make the switch? Visit gopogo.us to schedule your demo today. Pogo, one system, multiple solutions at your fingertips. Hello everyone, Mark Beffort here, bringing relevant discussions with leaders in the commercial real estate industry. Harrison Levy, how you doing?
Good, great, thank you.
Thanks for agreeing to be here, Harrison. You know, Harrison is a longtime partner of mine, both in real estate deals, but also a partner in mine in our operating business, Robinson Park. Harrison, I love the relationship we have. You know, you're a mentor of mine. And you're a partner, and you mean a lot to me. So I want to get into hearing about you.
Okay.
So when did you get into the real estate business?
Well, let me explain. You would think that all my life I would have thought I'd go into real estate. My grandfather came here in 1905, 1904, 1905, started a real estate company, had nothing when they came. They had a general store in Italy, Texas, this little small town south of Fort Worth. My father was born there, 1900. They came here, got real estate, did very well, very quickly because the opportunity was unbelievable. So he did very, very well. My father grew up here. He went to school back east, did well, went into the stock market in the 20s. My grandfather was here, but he did that, and he went broke. The Depression wiped him out. He came back, kind of reopened, reestablished the office. And so I grew up with dinner talk about real estate. And I worked in the mercantile building and other buildings, cleaning, painting, doing things.
This is when you were a child?
Yeah, when I was a teenager.
Okay.
Teenager. I just, I needed money for my car, buy gas. So I did a lot of work. But I had no desire. I went to college, thought I'd be business, changed that, went into liberal arts. And I met Elaine.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And we had some dates.
The girl always does it to us.
We had some dates. 3 weeks after we met, we decided to get married.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. We decided to get married.
Wow.
She called her parents and said, guess what? I met a guy. I'm engaged. They said, come home. So she got on a plane, went home. Then I finished.
Home is where?
Portland, Oregon.
Okay, Portland. Okay.
Portland, Oregon. So I was still in summer school. So we finished summer school. I went to visit, meet her parents. Real smart kid. I didn't ask them. I just never met them. They never met me. Didn't know anything about me. So her father and I were talking one day, and he said, what are your plans? And I go, well, I want to marry your daughter. He said, no, what are your plans? Well, I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. So I started thinking, I said, I'm going to go back. I had 2 more years of college. And I said, I'm going to go back and finish college and then go back to Oklahoma City and go into real estate with my father. And he goes, oh, real estate, that's a good career. I like that idea. I had never really thought about that in my life.
And he wanted to make sure you're going to take care of his daughter.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Don't blame me. I mean, we were just kids in school. So I called my father. Said, and guess what? I'm going to come back and go into real estate with you.
That's awesome.
He goes, are you sure? I said, yeah, I really think I am. He goes, all right. Now, his real estate office at that point, my grandfather had passed away. His brother had passed away. So Levy Brothers was a big firm. And at that point, it was the 2 of us with a part-time secretary that answered the phone and handled Levy Brothers, the building and
that's
stuff.
all you were.
That's all we were. Just the 2 of us.
And this is in what year, approximately?
1961.
61.
61. I married in 60. And we moved here. We got back. So started out, he had some business, not a hell of a lot. He did okay. So he was hanging in there. He didn't know quite what to do with me. So I just started. He had some listings down on Main Street. He did a lot of retail. Then he had some listings down in where Bricktown is, all those industrial buildings. He had some clients that owned those buildings. And then we had some other Levy Brother properties we were managing and working on. So I did that, and he had some other listings and started working. He introduced me to a guy that handled the real estate for the trust department of First National Bank. And I met him, and over the years got very close to him and did a lot of work. But he said, I've got this lot down in a little industrial lot down on West Main Street, or off of Main on a side street. He said, 25 by 150. We want, I forgot, it was either $600 or $800. I said, okay.
Wait a second, $800 for the lot?
$800
For the lot.
for the lot.
Okay.
Vacant lot. So I went to records and checked the courthouse and looked up. And coincidentally, my next door neighbor, my best friend, John T., his father owned that lot next to the vacant one that we had. So he had an office down there in that area, and I went down and saw him, and I said, I got this lot. He says, I'll buy it. I said, great. I didn't know what to do. So he happened to have one of those contract forms in his office. So he helped me fill out the form for the contract, gave me a check for an earnest money deposit. I took it to the bank, and they said, great. So that was my first deal.
So your first deal was $800. How much did he pay? $800?
$600 or $800. One of the two.
You know, Harrison, one of the couple things that impressed me about what your story there is, you and Elaine are now celebrating your 65th
66
wedding anniversary this year.
We just did last week.
That is awesome. That's
So
very
the marriage
impressive.
worked.
It did. And number two, you stuck with one career. You've been doing it your entire life.
Right.
And so many people, so many kids these days are trying to find happiness in other people trying to make them happy, as opposed to just getting in and working. So you had to make it work because you made a promise to Elaine's father-in-law that, hey, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to take care of your daughter. That's impressive. That's impressive. So, you've migrated. So you sold your first deal. You're a real estate broker. You've really invested in a lot of retail product. And that's primarily what you have done.
Well, yes, because when I started, number one, as a broker, there were probably only about 7 commercial brokers in Oklahoma City total. We have more brokers in our office now than we had in the entire
city back then.
State of Oklahoma.
Yeah, in the 60s,
I think. But so he had retail and industrial. So that's kind of what I learned. And that's what, so I went around and worked on those things. And he had some listings out on 23rd Street because that was kind of the first retail area. We had the shopping centers south in Midwest City, but 23rd. So I handled, and I went out, and so we had some listings to lease, and I went out and knocked on doors. And that's what you do in real estate. You know, I mean, we're the only business that you go find your clients. Everybody else, you have to wait for them to come to you. But we go out, and the thing you learn as a broker real quick, you learned it too. You learn to listen. You don't talk, you listen. You ask questions and you listen. So I got to meet people, and they weren't interested in what I had, but they might have another interest, or they might know somebody. So you pyramid the things. Brokers today go ask, would you lease my building? And they say no. Oh, okay. They leave. You and I learned, and the good brokers learn it quickly, that you learn to do that. So retail and industrial is what I knew.
Yeah.
And I understood that.
And you just stuck with it.
I just stuck with it.
Yeah. And today you own a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And a lot of shopping centers that people see and drive by every day. And,
right.
And it's interesting to me. So uh, you don't really sell much.
No,
You have what you have, and
right.
you continue to acquire more,
Correct.
but you're not selling anything.
No,
Why not?
very good reason. Early on, pretty much early on, and I'll go back into this a little later, uh, I had a plan. I wanted to create an income stream that would help me, support me, and long term provide the life that I'm living now. Now, I'm involved here with you, just kind of watching and seeing how things go. And we own a number of properties. I have no debt at all, period, anymore. First time in 60 years, but I have no debt.
By the way, I can't wait for that day.
I paid it off and we're able to live the life we want to live, able to help my children, help my grandchildren. Grandson has moved here to help us manage the things and take care of things. But that's what I knew and that's what I understood.
Yeah, Harrison, I find that really interesting because today it's all about every investment is first question is what's your exit strategy?
Right.
You didn't have an exit strategy. Your strategy was to accumulate assets that provides for you and your family and your grandkids for generations to come.
Correct.
You don't see that a whole lot anymore. That's not the intention going in because there's so many dollars that go in through private equity and other investments, LPGP structures, and all those structures that we have. Everybody's just wanting to know what my return is and how you're going to get out of this. So I find that really refreshing, Harrison.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, and and I look, and all our properties were fairly small, especially in those days. And then, kind of as a side note, a guy you know well, Bill Shadid.
Know him very well.
Yeah, you know very well. We met getting on an airplane, going to a basic training in the Air National Guard, and we got friends down there. We came back. He went to law school. I was starting in real estate. Thought I might go to law school, not to practice law, but just to learn how to think. And Bill had some people he knew that owned some buildings, shop buildings. He said, I want to buy one. I said, you don't buy them. I mean, you don't buy, you build them. People don't sell them. We handle a lot of them. People never sell them. He said, well, I want to do one. And I was still young and just starting out. So I found a lot that over on 50th Street. It was a good lot, and Kerr McGee owned it, and didn't work for Kerr McGee. And I said, here's a lot. You might want to buy it. And he goes, all right, I'll buy it. So he bought it. We found a tenant for him. He said, why don't you be my partner? And I go, I really need the fee from leasing it and selling it, so I'll sell it to you. And he got another partner, and they built the building, and they went on. And then I had a second one that I had a lot. And he said, I want that one too, because we filled the first one up. I want that one too. Would you want to be a partner? No, I need the fee. And I said, okay. He did that one on his own. Then the third one, I said, I'll be your partner.
I'm in. I've got enough money. I can pay my rent.
I was
my
doing
groceries.
okay now I'll be your partner. And because he handled the construction, I handled the leasing and the management, and he did all that. And he was an attorney practicing law doing that. And that worked. And we still continue to this day. We are just from estate planning separated all our partnerships, but we're still
friends and partners, and you guys go to lunch once a week.
Oh, at least once a week.
Yeah. So you a majority of your assets are here in Oklahoma City, but you also have some assets in Portland, Oregon. Do you know?
Portland, Oregon, exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about how'd you get to Portland? Obviously, that's where Elaine's from, but make a little comparison between the two cities.
Okay. Well, first of all, my father-in-law, Elaine's father, right after we got married, he worked for Best Foods. He was a distributor, and Best Foods said, hey, we're going to take it over. He said, okay. So he sold his business and sold some other things. So he had a friend that was a contractor, and he was looking for an investment. And his friend said, I'm building this building for a restaurant company, kind of small, growing, called McDonald's.
Small.
And they want to sell the building. And so he said, oh, okay, I'll do that. So he met Ray Kroc, and he $100,000 deal, $25,000 for the land, $75,000 for the building, 20-year lease.
Well, wait a second. 25% of the cost was the land.
Right.
It only cost you $75,000 to build a McDonald's store.
Correct. That was McDonald's, $100,000 total and $1,000 a month rent, 20-year lease. 11th year's rent was put up in advance as security deposit. That was McDonald's was less than 100 units or about that.
By the way, $1,000 a month, that's 12. That's a 12% rate of return.
So he was a good deal.
Yeah.
He was borrowing, he went to the bank, and Ray Kroc said, "Why don't you build all our buildings in Oregon?" So he went to his banker and said, "Hey, they want me to build all the buildings." And the banker looked at it. Financial statement was $3 million, $1 million goodwill, $2 million in restaurant equipment. He said, "I think one's enough." So he built the building. We still own it, by the way.
Do you still own that?
It's been
McDonald's?
torn down twice. But we still own it.
But it's still a McDonald's.
Still McDonald's.
They tore it down and rebuilt it.
Tore it down and rebuilt it. And we even bought some more. Well, they bought some more land, and that's another story. Anyway, so he did that. And so then his friend introduced him to some other. He built a post office. He was building a post office. So Frank bought that. We still own it. Leased to the post office. He ended up building a building for a large industrial company, which we still owned. And over the years, I bought a few more he had some others that we sold. So Portland's a different market than we are. It's more expensive. It's more compact. Portland has an urban growth boundary, which is kind of cool in that they drew an imaginary line around Portland and said, "You won't build past this area until we tell you."
Oh, wow.
So they don't have abandoned areas the way we do. It's more congested, but it's a better plan. You don't have all these vacant areas that have been bypassed.
So they controlled the growth.
They controlled the growth.
Which then really protected, in essence, the real estate business as well as other businesses. That's to ensure that competition is contained and stuff like that. That's it. I did not know that about. One of the challenges and one of the benefits we have in Oklahoma City is we're one of the largest land areas in the country.
Right.
I think we're the third behind Jacksonville, and maybe
we were the first for many years.
So that's one of the challenges, but it's also a benefit because you have the ability to grow more and stuff like that. So, let's move in. We talked a little bit about financing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you've talked a little bit about going to your banker.
Right.
Back in the 60s and 70s, is that who did all the financing, were banks? Were there any other forms of financing?
Oh, there were some, not as many as there are today. There were mortgage companies. And in those days, banks would really loan money based on finance, but based on the character of the borrower. That made a difference. You knew your banker. They knew you. They knew that you would make that payment even if you couldn't buy the groceries. I mean, they knew you were going to be dependent. And so Bill and I, and then on my own, we built some buildings, and you could build a building for retail, $10, $20 a square foot, industrial, $3, $4, $5 a square foot. So $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, you could build a building.
Bill Shadid was going through his office the other day, and he brought home a piece of paper on one of those early buildings that you said.
Right.
He had scribbled on a piece of paper with a pencil what his building cost was.
Right.
And that was his pro forma.
Right.
You didn't have Excel. You didn't have all these fancy computer models.
No.
And you were right. It was $100,000 on that building.
Right.
It was amazing to me that that's how you did it back then. And by the way, it worked.
It worked.
I mean, I would take a McDonald's today at a 12% return. Give me all of them you want.
People are buying them at 6.
Or 5 or
5
4.
or 4.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. So all your debt over the years have been just bank financing, right?
Yes, really. Yeah. I don't think I've ever borrowed I've had some larger loans, but they've all been with one of the banks in the state of Oklahoma.
In the state of Oklahoma.
We've never borrowed. And then insurance companies came into play in the 60s and 70s. We had a lot of insurance companies coming in and loaded, during a couple of our boom times times we like to forget. But that was big time.
Well, no, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's kind of where I wanted to go now. So, you have been in Oklahoma City doing real estate for 65 years.
Right.
You've seen significant booms and bust.
Correct.
We've gone through our share. So we had the booms in the 70s and the oil and gas, and we had
Right.
the bust in the early 80s. We had
Right.
the Penn Square bank failure.
Right.
We can continue on. Did you ever get caught in any of those?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And a lot of times, things are too good to be true, but you think I'm different. Other people, they're going to go under, but I'm going to survive. Yeah. We built a couple of buildings that we shouldn't have built. We built 2 or 3. We had a couple of buildings that we took some losses on. I remember we had one that really got in trouble, and I went and told my father. I said, Bill and I, we got in a lot of trouble. We're going, and he, oh, how are you going to do this? What's going to happen? And oh my God, he was just distraught. He thought the world had come to an end. And I said, look, if the worst that can happen, here's what it's going to be in financial. And it wasn't cheap, but it was 6 figures, but it wasn't cheap. And he said, oh, I said, yeah. He said, can you afford it? Yeah, we can afford it. Oh, okay. There's nothing to worry about. Big loss, but yeah, but you learn. You think other people are making mistakes, but you're not. You believe in the talk, and things can change instantly in real estate. A lot of things come up there with like COVID or '08 that you don't expect. But even at that, things in real estate change faster than you think.
Yeah. So here's what you, at least I don't think you realize, is the character of you and others that I've tried to be around
Right.
has laid good foundations for us. And you would never not think about not paying that loan.
No, never.
In today's world,
Right.
people say, well, I got a non-recourse loan and I'm giving it away. I'll
Right.
give it back.
Right.
No, and I'll just go do another deal.
Right.
That's good character. And that's what we try to do here at Robinson Park, is really do the right thing. You have an obligation, you got to live up to it.
That's correct.
And now, sometimes you can't, but that is as all go. And you've been through some tough times. You've been through some really good times. So let's talk about some of the things that this city has done. When I say this city, Oklahoma City,
right?
That you think were monumental to bring us to the path of where we are today.
Number one, our city is unique. No other city in the world is like Oklahoma City. April 21st, 1889, there was 0 population. April 22nd, there were 10,000 people. Nothing here, no police, no fire, no government, anything. Just vacant lots with a stick on it. We had the run. So we grew overnight. So people came here, and even up till the mid-teens, people that came to Oklahoma City had nothing. So we had that environment. And our leadership in a community is usually a 20-year span. You have a group of leaders, 20 years later, the younger come in, replace the older, and they kind of work it through the chamber, through the politics. That first group of people were 40 years probably, because they came young. They did it. We had the reason our city grew, we had 2 railroads in Oklahoma City. We had the Santa Fe going north and south. We had the Rock Island and the Frisco coming east and west. And the railroad track came on Couch Drive. That was the railroad track, right through the middle of Oklahoma City.
Okay, did not know that. Okay.
And you had to cross it 4 or 5 times a day. Traffic had to stop. So they moved it from here down to where the Union Station is now, Scissortail Park. That was a Chamber of Commerce and city. That was a major change to be able to do that thing. Then we've had a lot of other things that have cropped up that have come to do it in the 20s, and some of the other ones that have brought things, the city fathers doing things and working together. And we've had a very strong Chamber of Commerce. We've had a young group of people coming in and imagining and doing things, and the activity level has come up to do it. Main Street was kind of the main street, and then we had some suburban growth. World War II, we had the Depression, we had the Dust Bowl, oil and gas, major influence but we and but we to that depression area, and that's kind of when my father came back and started up going again. So we really started from 1930 to 1945. Nothing happened in our city, really. 1946 on, new growth coming in, started building shopping centers, War Acres, Midwest City, all the areas around here. That's when we really started to grow, and then banks would come up and do a lot more. So it's worked well.
Okay, so you gave us, by the way, I love that history lesson. So from the land run
Right,
in the late 1800s, 10,000 people immediately here.
right,
Today, we're about 1.5 million in our MSA,
correct,
and we've got one of the largest land areas in the country.
correct,
And we got one of the fastest growing cities
right,
in this country.
correct.
And so during your career, to take me from the 60s to today, and what you think are some of the things that really turned this city around.
Okay. We had a very aggressive city council members and leaders years ago, and they decided early on the reason we are the largest city, they saw other cities having difficulty in trying to bring industry in because they had the surrounding communities. So we expanded our city limits out to where it is now. No other city had ever thought about doing that. So we could control where they went. We were lucky we had Tinker Air Force Base, and that was kind of an accident. Douglas, World War II. It after the war, they put the base there, and Tinker has been a major influence for us in industrial. Our Chamber of Commerce had the Industrial Development Authority that went out and attracted industry coming in, and so we had the land. We knew where to put them, and it was in Oklahoma City. We didn't have to go to another community and ask them to allow us to put it in. So that was where we were smart and we were helpful. And again, we had some entrepreneurial people here that were energetic, willing to do things, and a young group and open. We've been a very open and friendly community, and everybody tries to work together for the most part. In the brokerage, we find out who you can deal with and who you can't, and you ignore the ones you can't and deal with the ones you can.
It is. I mean, it's a
You learn quick.
it's a small community, and when you make enemies in this community, you're
That's right.
you don't last very long.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
don't.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what are you excited most about Oklahoma City going forward? So, Harrison, you're how old today?
87.
You're 87 years old. You're still at work every day. I mean, listen to you. I mean, you give me this stuff that I don't even know, and that's one of the things I love about having you, a friendship with you, Harrison. I learn something every day. I'm being serious. We've had a lot of conversations, and you're gonna be. We got a good 20, 30, 40 years ahead of us, and you're going to see a lot of that. What are you most excited about?
Our city is going to continue. We have, Elaine always said, she says, I moved from beautiful Oregon to beautiful Colorado to friendly Oklahoma. And it's true. We are a friendly, open community. People here, you learn who you can trust and who you can't pretty quick. That's the way we work. And we have that kind of cooperative. We have a city council, which is nonpartisan, which makes, my opinion, a big difference. It's not political. I see a great future for us. And we have a good airport. And one of the things we did back in the 20s, we had an airport down at 29th and Western, I think, or somewhere down in there. We went out and we have 4,000 acres for our airport out there. We went out and built an airport with extra land so you won't get hemmed in. I mean, this was in the 40s we thought of doing this. No, people didn't think about that.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I think that needs to be discussed because this city's had tremendous leadership back then and even today. Lucky. So you think about Mayor Holt's done a fabulous job as mayor in really bringing us to the big stage, and that was, Mick Cornett was a fabulous mayor, and Humphreys and all this renaissance started with Newark, right? Because
right.
if you recall, our MAPS programs, which we're on MAPS 4 in the middle of it today, got started because we lost the United Airlines maintenance facility. And frankly, some of the best things that happen to you are coming in your losses, and that was that was significant for us. So leadership has really been good, and you've seen a bunch of leaders,
and most of them have come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, that's right.
They're not politicians.
No.
They're business people that want to make a difference,
right?
And they're willing to dedicate their time to do this. Most of all of our political leaders in the city have come out of just wanting to help our city. And we hope this trend will continue, and I think it will.
Harrison, so let's go back to the retail sector.
Right.
And what I find fascinating is the boom that we've had and what we have going on today. We have 6 or 7 significant entertainment/retail projects going on right now, from Randy Hogan's The Half to Ryan McNeil and Everett Dobson's The Oaks, to what is what's being proposed around the new multipurpose stadium, and what now is the Thunder are going to do some entertainment around the new arena. To Chisholm Creek, that's only probably 30-40% developed to this point.
Yeah, or even less.
Or even less than that.
Right.
And what the University of Oklahoma is going to do around their new stadium down in Norman, those are significant projects. If you add all of those up, you're talking about billions of dollars.
Correct.
How do you view that? I mean, that's
fantastic.
It's a lot for a city of our size.
That's right. And I think we can, and the people today demand better quality, better design, better structure, better planning. Used to, you could just throw them up. I mean, the old days, we just built 4 walls and a roof and, okay, let's go. It was easier. Today, you've got to do it right. I mean, the Oaks was a unique project. I admire those guys. That was a huge gamble. The money they had for the land is ridiculous, but they did it, and it's phenomenal. We're bringing in companies that are looking at our city and go, "You're unique. We appreciate this," and we're getting people coming to Oklahoma City. I mean, it's a personal thing. A couple of times in some of the restaurants we've been in lately, servers are really good and they're young and seem to be good. And do you live here? No, I moved here from Boston. Why? A friend of mine moved here and said, "This is a great place. You ought to come." Awesome. Yeah. People are coming here for that. And we're getting job opportunities. We've survived some downturns. We'll have some turnbacks. We know that. Things will never be perfect. But I believe in our city. I believe in our government. Some areas right now need change, but I think long term, our future as compared to everybody else is good. I'm excited.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier David. So
Right.
David is your grandson. I've got to know David. Smart kid.
He's a good kid.
Really good kid. He spent a little bit of time understanding the real estate business through the different groups that we have here at Robinson Park.
Right.
What are you most excited about with David coming on board and carrying the torch? I mean, if you think
carrying
about
the torch is right. I mean,
Yeah.
he's the 6th generation kind of involved in real estate from the first 6th generation of Levy people serving.
Oh, so he's 6th generation. That's right.
Uh-huh. So,
Wow.
it's, I think he's 6th, 5th or 6th. I lost track, but yes, it's a dream come true.
Yeah.
Stuart never wanted to come in.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a teacher, and thank God people like him are teachers. But no, David's really liking it. He's enjoying it. He's getting involved. He says, why don't we think about this? Why don't we think about that? And he and his wife are loving it here. They bought a house. They're here permanently. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for him too, because I think he can do some
And
things.
he's meeting everybody in the office and getting familiar and doing things.
Well, so you said you have no debt.
Right.
But you said earlier, I may take on some debt if David comes up with the project that
Right.
makes sense, right?
Well, something that the family can benefit from. I mean, I'm 87. Come on, 20-year debt. let's go. But something that I think the family can benefit from. And and of course, I used to answer to one person, me. Now you got to answer to everybody else. Hey, this is your money. Are you willing to gamble it? But we'll see.
So this podcast is called Real Opportunity,
Right?
And it's a play on both real estate as well as having real opportunities for people in Oklahoma City as well as a real estate market. So where do you believe the opportunities are in Oklahoma City today from a real estate perspective? It's a tough question.
It's a very tough question. And you have to look at what you're trying to achieve. I mean, personally, I made the choice years ago. Do I want to bring in a lot of other investors and build a building 3 times as big that I would own and manage with the other partners? And I chose not to do that. I chose to do my own thing that I would own and I would and so I had control of. Other people I knew were doing a lot of big 200,000 square foot projects and all that. Some of that was good, and I wondered, am I making a mistake? I did what I thought was best for me. And
it's turned out okay.
It turned out okay.
I think you're good.
So
I think you're okay.
From my perspective, anything I would do would be in that regard. Now, that doesn't mean that we might invest with other people who are doing things and see as an investment. But from what I would do with my money and my risk is some kind of a building that would be something that we knew, we understood. And in one of the growth patterns, we have a lot of overlooked property in Oklahoma City because of our growth. And I see our city moving back in. I think there's some opportunities. And, one of the things that really bugs me when I was a broker and very active, and we had our apartment boom and our office boom and our shopping center boom, and I was putting together sites for a lot of companies, and I found a site and I would go to somebody and apartment sites were selling for $3 a square foot. And he says, I want $5 and somebody will pay my price. And industrial were $1 to $3 and he wanted $5 or $6. Now somebody will pay my price, and I drive around. They're still vacant. Some of those properties still, somebody will pay my price. Now their heirs or somebody owns them. There's a lot of those properties that, as people are moving downtown, people are moving down to Heritage Hills and Edgemere and Crown Heights and these areas. There may be some opportunities in some of these areas, industrial areas that are on close to the interstate and maybe not out halfway to Guthrie. And there may be some opportunities that
I agree with you.
We might want to look at. So David and I've talked about it. We kind of looking around, doing some things. I don't know.
Well, Harrison, it's been a pleasure today. I can't say it enough. I value our relationship. I value the mentorship you've given me. And frankly, I just value the person who you are that really helps shape the young people, including myself. I consider myself a young guy, even though I'm kind of one of the old guys around here, along with you. But love having you here in the office. Thank you. And I can't thank you enough. So thank you for being here.
I appreciate you, and we've had a great relationship. We met one time at a party and decided, if you built the perfect real estate firm, how would you design it? And we said, hell, we think alike. Let's just put it together.
Let's just make it happen.
Here we are. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's been great.
So I'd like to leave. Always like to leave on what we call the real op of the day, and I think the real op of the day is really integrity. And I think that you are the epitome of that. So
thank you.
So thank you, Harrison.
That's the most important thing anymore.
Yeah, thank you. In our next episode, we're joined by Matthew Benjamin, founder of Uptime Hospitality. As the operator of several hotels in the Robinson Park portfolio, Matthew offers an inside look at hotel performance metrics, the impact of national travel trends, and what it takes to manage a great hospitality team.